Hi, this is Paul from the Tech Modeler channel, and this is not an update as such, because this was a build I started in 2015, and I was already on YouTube then, but I'd never put anything on the channel, so it was completely empty. And I built this when it first came out. It's a lovely model. It's the Tamiya's Panther D. I've actually got the Tamiya tracks that you can get extra, which is the clickable version, and they are really good, as you can see here, really good. And they're going to give that nice drape look on the vehicle. Of course, the side plating, armour plating, the side skirts actually hide it, but it will be there, and I think they're great. So anyone building a Tamiya Panther, they're ideal tracks for the part, and they're a lot quicker to build than Fro model, even though I do love the Fro model tracks because of the weight they give you. But if I had no side skirts on, of course, the Fro model ones would have been the ones I would have went for more. I don't know though, because these will most probably sag anyway. Right then, so anyway, back to this. So as you can see, the reason I got back into this one is a bit of a Steve Mottram's channel, and obviously he's doing a buddy build with Brett, and I'm not part of that, so that's okay. But the point is, he sort of thought myself, that's sitting on the shelf there. Yeah, I've got two shelf queens. The Panther D is one, and the other one was my Comet A3. Now they've both progressed. The A34 Comet has progressed a little bit further. It's got its tracks on. I'm not overjoyed with the tracks, and I'll explain that when I ever do an update on that. But it's got the tracks on in situ, so that's ready for the detailing I will need to do around the driver's periscopes, plus the commander's periscopes, because they're all sort of technically missing. There's three missing in one big slot. Anyway, I'll explain that on that video. So going back to this was built, as I said before, Christmas 2015, and a little bit into the new year. And then I mentioned something to Switcher on there that I need to, on YouTube, as you all know, about getting on and start recording. And straight away he come back to me, as Switcher would, and decided to do a buddy build with an Abrams A1. So M1, sorry. So that was it. That was my cherry burst on that one, and we've done two builds together: the Abrams and plus the, as you all know, if you've been watching, the World War I Mark IV tank from World War I, and they're both TACOM kits. Mine's the female version and is out. Mine is more or less finished now. I just want to put a bit more mud on the front, under the front tonight, and that I'm going to call that done. Anyway, back to this one though. So this is what I'm actually carrying on for a little while. I have got some things planned, but I've decided to finish the old one of the shelf queens, and I've decided to go back to the Panther and get that done. It was one of my favourite tanks. The trouble is though, whenever I say I've got a favourite, I always think of another one. I mean, I like the Ag Panther. Fantastic looking vehicle. They've got one at Bombington. They just look the part. So all the sloped armour at the front, aggressive 88mm gun, really good. Obviously, like all tank destroyers with a fixed gun in a position, they're at a disadvantage at anything close range, because if they knock their tracks out, their basic gun is only pointing in one direction, where if you knock the tracks out of a tank, at least it can re-engage by turning its turret around and possibly get out of trouble later on by saving the vehicle. But anyway, that's the video on there. But this model is a really great kit. It does go together well. I've got a nice book on the Panthers anyway, so some little bits I need to do. I need to wire some, get very fine wire and periscope the smoke dischargers, which I drilled out as well to give them a bit of finer look to them, as I've drilled out. There's no need for a light cable for the actual lamps on the front, because they didn't go through, they went straight through the armour plating into the vehicle as far as I know. I can't see any evidence of the wires on that. The periscopes are solid plastic in this kit. I've got some spare ones in a box that will fit this perfectly. So the four periscopes at the front for the driver and the radio operator will have clear periscopes. The commander's hatch, which does come off, needs a bit of tying up round where the seam line at the bottom, which I noticed Steve said he did, and I will be doing that. But before I do that, what I've got to do is cut some plastic to go into the periscopes themselves, so you can actually see a bit of glass in there, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So that's why I haven't glued down, to make it easier. The whole top is not permanently fixed to the whole bottom. It's that they slide in, and as Steve did, they're nice. You can actually take it on off. Obviously to give me access to the periscopes at the front, and also when I do actually stick the hole on, I would take the rubber connection bit out the front, because that will allow the front plate to slide down further and just completely put that seam as it should be at the front. That's what I'm doing, and it'll drop down back a bit there as well. I never, if I turn it around slightly, you can see all the bits and pieces. I've actually put every bit of tool storage on there and the spare tracks. I may put some on the turret, but the vehicles I've seen didn't have them, and the photographs of the early ones going to the front on the trains and all that, so I most probably won't go with that. I have got a Panther D later on to build, which will have had a load of turret to place track links, which I will put on at some point on that one. But anyway, you can see I've gone right round. The back, I drilled out the exhaust. I think Brett in their buddy build, Steve's and Brett's buddy build, he actually drilled that out. I done the same. That was done last year. I drilled them out. But the only thing I haven't done is what Steve said he did. He's not put the tools on. I think Brett might have done the same. Not put the tools in place in the back. I put everything in place because most of the things would have got a bit of a spray paint over them anyway. But even then, you can still get in there with a brush and do the bits and pieces with it. So I'm quite happy to do that. I'll go back round here. I did put the spare bits of cable around there, wrap around the old wooden block. I'll do my wood block treatment to that later on to give it a bit of wood effect. So everything's there. I haven't switched this on because it goes around quite fast. There you go. So as you can see, everything's in place for painting by hand. Now when I do paint the vehicle, I will take the top hull off from the bottom. All the wheels will come off because they're not permanently in place, and then I shall actually start to work on it then. So really all I'm left with now is getting the detail things done, like I said, the wires and a bit of clear periscopes for the actual drivers, the commander's caliper, and also inside there put some glass or plastic clear bits in there, which I've got spare visors for, periscopes for in the front, and then I'll be into the painting in a major way. So looking forward to that. I'm not sure what colour to do the vehicle, but I'm going to do it obviously sand colour because that's what colour they was sent out in. I'm not sure if I'm going to add camouflage or not. That I'm going to have a look at my books and to see what I can see. If I can find something that I like, I will do it. So anyway, so that is basically the Panther D from Tamiya that I was building before my switch builds. So what am I going to do next? I will say this, the Barker's build's coming up, and I said I'd start that in September, and I may start it earlier. It all depends on what builds I have in progress. But I've decided, instead of doing those two Dragon Panzer IIIs I found in my collection, the kit number is Panzer Kampfwagen 3 Stoff N, and it's the Panzer N one. It's the one that Tamiya built, when it includes photo etch parts and an aluminium gun barrel with rifling. And I'll just move that over and show you. I'm going to do a separate unboxing video of this one anyway, but I'll just push that over slightly and show what I mean, so you can see it. There she is. That's the one I'm going to be doing, and I'll most probably be painting it in the same colours it is there. It was part of 502 that took part in some of the early battles alongside King Tiger, Tiger 1s, early Tiger 1s painted grey as well. So it's going to be an interesting one there. And also the same vehicle took part as a Kirsch. So, and as you can see, the short barrel, the L24 short barrel 75 was on it, replacing the L50 50mm gun that was on the actual Panzer III. In this kit you get the other barrel as well. Obviously I won't use it, but you get that. So this is a nice quick, and it's not going to be a long build obviously, because it's Tamiya kits are pretty much straightforward, but the same, I will be giving a bit of extra detail to it in certain places, and I'll be using throw tracks for this one. I've actually got a set I already built up for another vehicle and never used them, and so they're in my little box up there, already made out to the right length, so they'd be perfect for this. So be great, and it gives it a nice little bit of sag, unlike it is on the box art. I know they would have been tight at some point, but they do eventually get sagged down, and I think the Germans didn't bother adjusting them too much. The Russians definitely didn't, but the Americans mostly had live tracks, which didn't really have any sag at all. So there you go. So that would be my Barker's build. That's the definite 100% cert now for that one, and I'll be getting a bit of extra photo etching if I can on top of what's in the kit. So there you go then. So that is my quick update then on, well, an update it's a show tell of my Panther D that I have been building before in 2015, which I'm going to go back to now to start to finish, because at the moment I'm between models. I've got a little bit of work to do on me at Mark IV, which is not much, just a bit of dirt and grime underneath the front of the vehicle, which is the thing I forgot. I've got to put a little bit underneath. I've got it all on the top hole round. I've got my fuel cans in place. I've also got a bit of tarpaulin wrapped in there with a bit of engine oil dripped all over it, and a bit of leaky oil inside the actual storage compartment on the back of the vehicle. So I will do that in my final reveal, and so that'll be coming soon. Anyway, so thank you very much for watching, and like I said, I will now be progressing this vehicle, showing you little bits as I update as I go. And I'm sorry I didn't actually do this at the beginning of the vehicle, because as I said, I didn't get on YouTube until after I'd got this to this stage with the kit. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.